Hey guys, Andrew with 911 South. Today we're talking about potential garage makeover. All right guys, so I'm in my garage a good bit. I've spent a lot of time over the last year and a half kind of getting things set up. I'd say right now it's kind of at a 5 out of 10. When we got the house that we live in, it's a 1933 Tudor, did a bunch of renovations inside the house, really got that dialed in. Didn't do a whole lot here in the garage, just got it to like a baseline, put some hooks and storage, just to get things up off the ground, everything like that. The real issue with this garage is, number one, it's kind of old. Number two, it's got some drainage issues. And number three, it gets really dusty and dirty. I want to do this video series because I know there's a lot of people out there with newer garages, new build homes, and I think there's thousands of videos out there on how to dial that in. But with my garage, what I was really struggling with is, what do you do if you have almost a 100-year-old garage? Do you, short of just tearing it down and redoing the whole thing, which of course is major money, is there a way to make an older garage look good? I'd always assume no. I always had plans to essentially tear this down at some point, build a carriage house, really a modern structure down below, widen it, all that kind of stuff. But in doing a lot of car projects in the space, especially with some friends, they were always like, man, this garage is so cool. It's detached, it's got like character. I live in a condo, I don't even have a space to work on my car. So it really got me thinking that this garage is potentially pretty workable. So why just assume I've got to tear it down and kind of build something, circa 2021, just to have a decent place to work on the car. So I'm going to take you through what I'm going to do to the garage. Hopefully you find this video interesting. If you happen to have an older home, you've got a detached garage, a garage that, isn't the cleanest, that way you don't just assume, hey, I've just got a place to park cars and my car's always going to be dusty and dirty. My hope is that I come across some solutions and things that really work well for us with older garages that aren't ideal for kind of like your modern day, totally dialed in space. So I'm going to walk you through what we're doing today just to kind of get the drainage issues covered and address a lot of what has really held me back from wanting to do anything cool with this garage. I'll also talk about what I've done so far, which again is not super impressive, but it's kind of like a baby step towards what I want to do. Then I'll walk you through what we've got planned. So let's get started. All right, guys, so here's the overall garage. It's about 22 by 22, so call it about 500 square feet. 2-car garage. Does have this pitched roof, which is kind of a nice feature, which I think I'm going to keep. Adds definitely some character to it. It does have standard garage doors with the tracks and the openers, so obviously height tends to be kind of an issue sometimes. But the main issue that I've started to tackle first and foremost is drainage. So we've got this gravel driveway, which is actually beautiful because our house is, like I said, older. It's a Tudor, 1933, has a lot of character. And so the gravel driveway really kind of fits the overall vibe of the space. The driveway up in the front is concrete. So what faces the street and comes all the way back to this back gate is all concrete, and then this is this stone. So initially, I was thinking that we might want to replace all this stone and do concrete. Obviously that's a huge number, but like I said, I really actually think it fits the character of the house. The only issue is that this garage is back here. And so what happens is it rains and all the runoff comes straight down here, down to this garage. Now, the previous owner did put in some drainage. When we moved in, it was pretty much non-functional. I just kind of left it alone. To be honest, kind of neglected it for the last 3 years we've lived here. And so what would happen is if we got moderate rain, it really wasn't an issue. When it got medium to heavy rain, this entire area would get flooded. And so literally for the past, 2 to 3 years, I've been living with a scenario where I kind of keep the garage pretty clean, obviously keep the cars clean. If you watch my channel, you've seen me detail ceramic, all those kinds of things. So you know that I'm really big on car detailing. So I would clean these things and I'd park them in this environment. They would stay relatively clean, but would get dirty after a week and a half to 2 weeks. And I eventually this week just said, you know what, I've sort of had it, I'm done with this. This is A, holding me back from wanting to upgrade or renovate the garage and really set it up for, detailing and working on the car and those kinds of things. And B, just frankly, a pain. I'm tired of having to wash the car all the time. So I've started on a plan to do a few things. The first thing we're gonna do is, there's 2 channel drains. One is inside and one is outside of the garage. So we're clearing those out. You can see here just the extent of dirt that is in there. There's channel drain underneath here, believe it or not. Also have been power washing all the grates, which you can see over here. And so that, I think, in itself is gonna help a lot, just to get all the mud that's been caked and, you know, saturated here over the years. Also, this is a very large culvert, which is not really getting used because, frankly, all the water just, as you can imagine, just sheets down the driveway here and runs right into the garage. So I want to at least get some use out of this large pipe. I'm doing 2 other things just right off the bat. One is this roof never had a gutter. None of the roofs on this garage have gutters, not sure why. So we're gonna obviously run a gutter from here to here all the way across with a downspout, and then we're gonna pipe that direct into the culvert or opening. So yeah, that should definitely help with a lot of the runoff that's coming off the roof. I think that's really creating a lot of the problem here. I assume it's probably half the problem, right? So we get torrential rain, all this is coming straight off right over these channel drains, and then of course, like I said, the runoff from there. So we're gonna pipe that in, pipe in the other side as well, just for good measure. The intent is that the outside channel drain collects all the driveway water in addition to the gutters above. The inside channel drain is pretty much clean water, and that is just going to be whatever comes off this surface, you know, from pressure washing and sweeping and things like that into the channel drain on this side, and then both of them pump out in a way. So I think that's going to really help just to solve the issues that have really been holding me back from wanting to fix up this garage in the first place.